Following up on a previous subject, your first 30 days in your 90-day plan. Tonight, your second 30 days in your 90-day plan. For those of you that don't know me, I've been involved in network marketing for over 40 years. I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. I started in this business totally broke. I had to sell a junk truck to get started, and I put $200 into my business by selling that junk truck. And for the last 27 years, I've been full-time in network marketing, loving it. And if you're interested, just hang in there. And yeah. So for those of you, I was going to try to actually do this yesterday, but the way it worked out was that, I had some leaders come over. They said, hey, we want to come out and hang out with you guys for a couple days. You open to us? So I said, yeah, why not? Anyway, so that's what I did on Saturday night and Sunday night. But anyway, so that's why I didn't come on yesterday. But so this is a follow-up to what I did on Friday. I believe it was Friday. No, Saturday it was, wasn't it? And so I talked about Saturday, your first 30 days in the 90-day plan. And just I'm not going to go over that whole thing, all right? But I'm going to recap a few points, which gives basically a background to what I'm about to talk about. And that is that the reason why, a lot of people don't do 90-day plans is because they've been stigmatized not to work. And that most people never accomplish their 90-day plan, so why do a 90-day plan? So then you hear a lot of trainers say, oh, we don't do 90-day plans. We got to be easy on the people. We got to be soft on the people, No. What we have to do, again, is give a different definition about what happens in it and how we should feel about it. And so, again, it may be true that most people that set a 90-day plan, lay out their goals and all that, never accomplish their goals. If someone could prove statistically beyond the shadow of a doubt that happens with most, okay, that still would not be a reason not to do a 90-day plan. Because again, as I mentioned Saturday, that a couple of things happen that are really phenomenal and great about 90-day plans. One is you stretch and you become more as a leader. You show up totally different, not only to yourself and to your team, but to everyone around you. And so there's that part of it. The other thing about it is growth happens in the 90-day process. That is, you add more leaders to your downline. You grow your organizational, your volume. So a lot of good, even though you might have just not reached your goal, a lot of good came from it. Had you never set these goals, nothing would have happened. Nothing. You wouldn't have added any numbers, any leaders. Your volume wouldn't have grown. You personally would not have grown as a leader. Nothing would have happened. So I think the premise that don't set it because most don't make it is totally invalid. It's totally invalid because you're going to feel a whole lot better after doing it. And I'll tell you what, and then by setting the lead in doing so, then other leaders who join your team, your organization, they're going to want to do a 90-day run as well, because they're going to hear about what you did and how it worked and with you and some of your team leaders. And so they're going to be excited. And everybody is in different cycles, time cycles. I mean, you might be in your third 30 days of your 90-day plan, your third month. And then you got new people that have just come on board. That's their first month. Again, you're running your 90-day plan. They're running their 90-day plan. Everybody's got different cycles in their own 90-day plans. And that's all great and fine. Again, remember that it was very important that when we onboard people, when we do that and they begin their own 90-day plan, that we have a very simple system. In other words, what do they need to do? The invitation process to invite people to look at your opportunity, the video that you're going to use. Unless you have a local meeting you bring them to, that's fine. But you have to have a tool that you use, and they need to know about that. The other thing is that in this 90-day, and again, you don't have to be new in this business to do a 90-day. You don't. You can be years into your company, and now it's, you've been at a plateau. It's time to change it, and you want to jumpstart it. A 90-day run is a great way to do it. And so whether you're new or whether you've been in for years, it really doesn't matter. But what you have to do is, if you're new, remember the first 30 days was all about finding your drivers. You want to identify, let's say, 5 or 6 drivers. Drivers are people that are just as committed as you are to doing the business. So you want to identify those drivers. And so when you're new in the business, that means you have to prospect. And so instead of just making an announcement on your Facebook page, best thing to do is don't say anything about it. Make that list, go over it with your sponsor, empty your brain on that list. I'm telling you, that's the old, tried, proven method of doing it. Instead of announcing to everybody in Facebook that you're now in one of those, okay, and then they're not answering your phone calls, okay, you need that element of surprise. You have first 30 days. And then what you want to do is identify those 6 drivers. Now, if you already have a team and now you want to come out of a plateau and you really want to, just go to the next level, then what you'll want to do is look into your team and take a serious look and see who's committed. Put it out there. If you have a Facebook group, you can announce it into your Facebook group. You can pick up the phone. You can start calling people. You can FaceTime them. You can do a Zoom call. I did a Zoom call till midnight last night with a group. So I'm just saying, you can do that and just put the word out. Say, hey, who's wanting to run? Who wants to take their business to the next level? Who really wants to have an impact, not only in their lives, but in their team, and really show up differently? Who wants to do this? And so now that we got, we're just, New Year's Eve is tomorrow night, right? We're just a couple of days away from a new year, a new decade. It's a great time to put out the word and find out who wants to really run. And so if you have enough leaders, if you have 5 or 6 in separate lines that you can run with, then that's it. There's not a lot of people that you really need to sponsor right now. What you need to do is start working with those people that maybe you've neglected. You just haven't given them your time. We have to understand that, you got to really pay this thing forward if you want to go to the next level. If you really want to go to the next level, you're going to have to dedicate some time and make yourself available. And it's worth it. It's worth it. The kind of income, keep in mind, if you can develop, if you can find in your organization, develop in your organization, enough drivers, whether it's 12 and to get to a 6-figure income, 24 or more to get to 7 figures. I mean, all drivers are different. Some produce a lot, some produce a little, but at the end of the day, you got to know who they are. So some other things about that I covered on that your first 30 days in your 90-day plan, and that is this. Make sure you let your family know about it. So you guys, okay, if you're going to not be so available, and your wife is used to you always being available, don't let her think you got a girlfriend, okay? Let her know what you want to do. And again, this has got to be about benefiting the family. This is not about you. It's about the family, and that's the way you sell it. So you get your family to support you, and you know, knowing that you're not going to be as available, but they know why. And then the other thing is, when you talk to your leaders, understand it's your 90-day. You want to see if they want to run. But it's got to be their 90-day. It's got to be their reasons. Just like you're trying to, you know your reasons, whether it's to increase your income, get you to another rank, maybe just increase your sales volume in your organization, or you want to show to your company, hey, I don't want to dance in the shadows anymore. I want to be like someone such and such in my upline. I really want to show up as a leader now. I'm ready to do that. So, but just as you have to discover that and get clear on that, so do your leaders. And just understand that their goals are not going to be your goals. So then help them discover that, and then let them run with you. So what do you do in your second month? So in your first month, basically, you've found your drivers. That's, you know, let's just say there's 6. And again, compensation plans vary, how, you know, what's required, like legs and volume per legs and all that. Typically, it can be anywhere from 3 to 5. And then sometimes there's a certain amount of volume requirements, maybe, you know, maybe on your first 2 or 3 levels. But every plan is different. But let's go at it this way. Let's just say that you're going to run with 6 people. 6 people. And again, you're not going to do this forever. When I say it's a 90-day plan, it's your 90-day run. Okay, and then when you're done with your run, you're done. Okay, but other people in your organization, you'll support them because, again, some of them are just getting started on theirs. But here's what we're going to do in month 2, okay? Month 2, what we're going to do is, so we've got, I'll put month 2. Month 2. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to work with, and we put the announcement out. We had, so this can be people that you sponsored in month 1, or it can be if you have a team, an existing team, you've put out the word in your Facebook groups and your team leaders and all that. And so, and 6 people said, hey man, I want to run. So you may not need to sponsor any people, but what you got to do now is run with these individuals. And so then again, you did that, and so this resulted in month 1, but now we're in month 2. And so what are we going to do here is help them do what? The very thing that you just did. That's right. The very same thing. And that is, we want them to do just that. And that is, we want them to develop 6 leaders. 6 leaders in your organization. So here's what we're going to do on month 2. We're going to talk to each of these leaders, and again, you got to get a commitment. This can't be emotional. This can't be just something that on the whim they said, hey, I'm in, man. Okay, when you have 6 people that said, hey, I'm ready to run, then talk to them about the schedule and when you're going to be able to schedule your time. Keep in mind, you don't have to be full-time to do this. If you just do this on weekends, that's fine. If you only have an hour a night, okay, consistency is what wins the game. But then if you got more time, then obviously you'll see greater results. But here's what I want to do with these people is, let's just say on Monday night, I'll just put it Monday here, and then I'm going to work with John. So John knows that Monday, I'm going to schedule time in for him. And Tuesday, I've got Debbie's commitment that we're going to work together either on Zoom calls or presentations, 3-way calls. If it's something local and we go to somebody's home or we meet at a coffee shop. So it really doesn't matter whether it's an offline event or an online event. It really doesn't matter. Because what you're going to do is they're going to see you put on the expert hat, if you will, and that is they're going to see how you explain about the products, how you explain about the opportunity. It's all about monkey see, monkey do. And they want to see the monkey do. And that's you. Okay? So, and then Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So then we got Paul. Here we got Paul. Thursday. Thursday we've got Bill. We'll just say Bill. And then Friday, who have we got here? We got Julie. Julie is on Friday. Saturday, we're going to run, let's just say with Gene. Okay? So then, that's what we're going to do. And so, they've committed to this schedule because you set it up that way. And that's the important thing you got to understand, is that when you put the announcement out that, hey, who wants to run, do a 90-day run, we'll have fun, but it is work, but it's going to take your business to another level. Who wants to do this? And when people make that commitment, say, okay, then here's all I want you to do is stay to the committed schedule, okay? That doesn't mean that if Gene, that you got Gene scheduled in on Saturday, but on Monday you're working with John, but still doesn't mean you're constantly with John. Any of these people, Gene, any of these, Debbie, Paul, Bill, Julie, can still call you and say, hey, I've got somebody. Have you got some time to do a three-way? Or it's in the messenger chat, Facebook messenger chat, and they're saying to you, hey, meet so-and-so. I just sent her the video. She's very excited, but she's got this question. I wasn't really sure how to answer it. Well, the great thing about that is you can answer it when you can answer it. And then they'll see it come right through. So if you're, let's say on Monday, you're working with John and you're already talking to somebody and you notice on Facebook Messenger something just came through, as soon as you finish that call with John, say, John, do you have anybody else right now? He says, no, actually, I think we've pretty much covered it. I don't see how we can do any more today. I said, okay, if something comes up during the week, let me know, and I'll be glad to help you. And then I'm going to go ahead and get in the messenger chat with Jean and her prospect and answer the questions. Because a lot of these people are new. They just don't know how to answer the questions about your product or what's expected or what must I do. Things like that. They're all new. The great thing is that they're seeing you live and in action, okay? How you overcome objections, how you answer questions. These are going to be common things that are going to come up for as long as they're in your company. As far as when they're prospecting and building a business, there's going to be common threads, common questions, things like that. And so the thing about it is, in month 2, by the time you have worked, and keep in mind, you've done this for a whole month in month 2. So John has seen you at least 4 days out of the month explain your compensation plan, your product, how the business works. He has seen you in action. So has Debbie, so has Paul, so has Bill, so has Julie, so has Jean. They've all seen you do it in action at least 4 days out of the month that you've done all of that. So they've seen it, they've heard it, they know it, they know the tools. Your onboarding process, that is when you invite people to look at the business, and then the tool that you use. Let's say it's a video, and so that video explains the opportunity, and then the covering any objections or questions or curiosity viewpoints that they have. You've covered all of that, and then you simply say, well, based on everything that you've seen, is there anything else I can answer before you begin? No, I don't guess so. Well, you did a good job. Okay, awesome. I really look forward to working with you. John is going to be such a great sponsor for you. Or if we're talking with Debbie, working with Debbie, Debbie's going to be such a great sponsor, but I'm going to be there too. You can reach out for me at any time. Just know that I'm part of the support, and just like Debbie is going to be part of the support for you. And so once we help those people cover their bases, the whole goal in month 2 is to do just what you did in month 1. And what did you do in month 1? You did this. You identified at least 6 drivers. They're not equally strong. None of them are. If the only thing you got out of these 6 was really 1 or 2 really good ones that are really, the others are just sort of, part-time, but they're not as committed like maybe 2 of them, that's okay. Just understand that's the norm of the business. Most of your income is going to come from 1 or 2 legs. And that's statistically proven true. So, but here's the thing. So, and you never know either. I'll tell you, you never know, because some people can start off slow, and then by the time they get into their 3rd month or their 4th month even, then they really engage. They really engage. But all you want to do is, again, month 1, establish 6 drivers. Month 2, work with those 6 drivers, schedule that time, have them, again, make their list, talk to them about who's on that list, who are these people, what are their backgrounds. Sometimes they're very interesting people, and you'll find that some of them have network marketing experience. I remember one lady I reached out to one time. I didn't even know who she was. I just saw that she was doing a lot of volume, and I called her up one day only to find out she was the daughter of the governor of Louisiana, and she was an actress in Hollywood, and I didn't even know that. But she loved network marketing. So you never know. So when you start working with people, and then you help them develop their list, who's on the list, work with them, and develop those downlines, then you're going to see great results. That's the key. That's the key. And that's what you want to do. And so the thing about it is, when you, by month two, then now your 6 drivers are well established, because they've seen you do it so many times now. They've seen you explain the product, explain the compensation plan, common questions that come up, how you handled it, and they're like, gee whiz, this nothing to this. This is pretty simple. This is pretty easy. That's exactly right. And that's what you want, because that's what creates duplication, is simple things that we ask people to do, and anybody can do it. And so in that period of time now you've created what you call independent leaders, and now you're ready to go. And you're ready to help develop. And so a lot of your activity is like right here. This is pretty much it in month 2. It's right there. And then you're helping creating a base right there of some solid leaders, a 2nd level base, if you will, of solid leaders that are under all 6 of your drivers. Now you've got a team that is really smoking. That's really the essence of this. I'll tell you, it's what I did for so many years. And let me see if anybody has a question on this, George, you can let me know. But you can feel free to post a question if you have a question. But that is the most important thing, is in month 2, it's different than month 1, because month 1 you're spending 80% of your time or more prospecting, but in month 2 now you're switching it around, you're reversing it, where you're spending really more. 80% of your time now is going to focus on these 6 drivers, and then help them to develop 6 drivers each. You do something like that, that's a rock solid foundation right there. And keep in mind, when I say foundation, because most of the work when it comes to building anything is that if you're building a house, or if it's a building, it doesn't matter. So much of the work goes in the foundation, and it's like you wonder when is it really gonna finally materialize, shoot up, and be finished, right? But because so much of the work goes into the foundation, and then once the foundation is in place, it just shoots up very fast. That's your foundation. That's your foundation. So I hope that's helpful tonight, and that's what I was going to share with you. And that's in my book that's on Amazon, Reaching the Peak. I talk about that very thing. The 90-day plan, that's what, well, there it is, the 90-day plan. And it's in the book. But those are the fundamental principles of what makes it work. Keep in mind, the first month, it's mostly psychology. It's mostly psychology. Why do you need to do a 90-day plan? What's important? What do you want out of it? And then getting other people to onboard you, getting their permission to onboard them, to have their own 90-day plan that you're supporting them with. There's just so much of this is psychology. It's not a blueprint, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. If it was all that simple, I guess then anybody could just do these things and have such tremendous results. But what they don't understand is so much of it is psychological. And then once you get that established in that first month, then in the second month, then you really flip the switch and you turn this machine on. And that's how it works, friends. But that's the key, is getting people committed. And again, if they don't keep their commitment, you could always announce to your Facebook group, say, hey, one of my 6 dropped off. Evidently, she's not able to run. I've got time for someone else to bring someone else on board that I can run with. Who would like to run? Put the word out. The thing is, you want to stay busy. And keep in mind, like I said, I did this 21 years ago. And my first 90 days, starting with all new people, we put in 800 people in 90 days. 800 people in 90 days. I didn't even own a computer. Just having a phone and just having a list. And I pounded that thing out. And I used the tools. So keep all of this in mind. It's very doable. And, some people, they might tell you that they can't do a 90-day run. If all they can do is 30 days, take it. Run with them for 30 days and see what you're going to get out of that individual. So I appreciate all you guys getting on tonight. And then I'm going to talk about your third month. I'll do that tomorrow, your third month in the 90-day plan. And I may just put that out earlier tomorrow afternoon. Maybe I'll do that because no doubt some of you are going to be going to a lot of New Year's Eve parties and things like that. But anyway, nice to see you on this call tonight. I appreciate you joining me. It's been wonderful. And I look forward to seeing you on the next call. Take care.